Hey guys, Victory Lyric here. I am so excited to be here today for this divorce summit for the month of April. And I have a really fun topic to discuss. And that topic is when we used to joke several years ago when I owned my own bakery and restaurant. And we would joke in the kitchen that one day I would write a book or tell a story about how Pitbull saved my life. At the time, I was walking through divorce from my husband of 16 years. We had been together for 19 years. And it was a dark time. It was a time of a lot of pain and the unknown, so many struggles where you just had no idea how are you going to provide for your family? How are you going to raise kids alone? How was I going to make it through these court battles? How was I going to pay for these court dates? How was I going to live my life without this person? How were my kids going to live their life without their father? And yet here I was running a bakery, which how do I run a bakery without the person who was helping me with the books and helping me shop? And he was a huge integral part of it as well. And so it was really difficult on me at the time. And I would find myself sometimes in the morning before everybody got there on the floor, sitting on the floor of this nasty bakery while the cupcakes baked. And well, not nasty bakery, but nasty bakery floor. You can't imagine it's perfectly clean. And just thinking, how am I going to make it through this day? I'm depressed. I'm crying. I'm all alone. My life has fallen apart. And so I know a lot of those feelings, a lot of what you're walking through, and there's ups and downs and so on and so forth, and a lot of it is down, unfortunately. The grief doesn't just let you skip by. But there are those moments when we get the opportunity to take our right to joy. And in the midst of a really hard traumatic time, it's often difficult to remember your right as a human being to joy and to have a great time, to laugh and know what it feels like to be light and airy and free. Because oftentimes, in the midst of trauma, we don't feel light or airy or free. We feel like the girl who needs to sit on the nasty floor at the bakery, because I feel about this big and I am this crushed. And so dancing about and having a joyful time is not the first thing on our mind. But I had a wonderful group of ladies working with me at the bakery. And when I would find myself in those down moments, we started to find a pattern. There was a certain artist that, continually was the one that we could listen to, and it would just, really light me back up and bring joy back into my life. And I think that it was fun that in the midst of the darkest times, we would turn on the radio and we would get jamming on Pitbull. And for me, the reason is because it was so fun and silly and happy and nothing serious, nothing full of weight, the kind of weight that I had been bearing in every other area of my life. But this was just a moment to dance and play and enjoy the fact that I exist. I still exist, even if a person leaves my life, even if my finances are falling apart, even if I am losing friendships because we had couple friends, even if I don't know how I'm going to be a single mom, even if everything I ever dreamt of has just been taken from me, I still have a right to be an amazing human on this earth, enjoying my moments, being present in my moments. And so we joked that I would write a book called Pitbull Saved My Life. But truly, those moments of just being me, delighting in my identity separate from every other thing, separate from my circumstances, separate from what someone had done to me, the rejection, the wounds, etc. I was a human being delighting in my moment, and that is still my moment on the earth. We get only a limited amount of moments on this earth, and to delight in them from time to time, when even in the midst of pain, I think is the hope and the light that kind of keeps us going. You know, some of those funny lyrics in those songs just took the weight off. It just, for a moment, I got to just be me. And, I encourage you guys to continue taking moments for yourself where you just get to be wonderful, beautiful, amazing you, in spite of all the storms surrounding you, to value yourself enough to take those silly Pitbull moments, and whatever your version of Pitbull is. I mean, it might be, dancing about in your living room. It might be going and grabbing some kind of special morning coffee. It might be watching, ridiculous goats doing hilarious things on YouTube. That is one of the things that I loved. But finding those moments of valuing you and having those lighter times where you just enjoy yourself, where you just breathe and realize that I'm still here. And yes, it might feel like the sky is falling, but it's for a moment. But you will still be with you. 10, 20, 30 years later, you are the one that needs to take the time to love yourself, to value yourself. I mean, that person in your life obviously isn't there anymore. But now is the time for you to begin to take special moments where you are allowing yourself to have value, to matter, on this planet, where your laughter matters, where your joy matters, and remembering who you are, separate from all of the weight that exists in the midst of divorce, and in the midst of becoming a single person again, in the midst of becoming a single parent. There are so many hard moments, but the joy that you can find in the little things, like trying something new. I know that, there is something very special in trying new things, having new experiences, allowing yourself to go to a new restaurant. And it just sparks something in your brain. It sparks a lightness, a joy, when everything else feels a little too heavy at the moment. There is just this beauty and brilliance in trying new things, you know, going out and maybe getting a new outfit for yourself, or, seeing a new movie, or maybe going ahead and playing that guitar that you've always wanted to learn. That is investing in you. And in investing in you and giving yourself that value, you are, really saying, I matter. My voice matters. My heart matters. And my life matters. And in doing that, you are giving yourself a time to grow and to heal in those, in those moments and in those spaces. Yes, we grow and heal in moments and spaces of grieving as well, letting that hard stuff out. But we also grow and heal in those spaces of saying, I'm valuable. I matter. I even in the midst of this pain, my joy matters. And so I would encourage you to do that. I would also encourage living in the moment and staying present. So I remember after divorce, I ended up needing to sell my home and sell my bakery, and I didn't have anything tethered. I was in a rental and I did not even have a job yet. I had sold it for, enough money that I could take a couple months off and just kind of regroup and breathe. And during that time period, I really felt like the Lord was impressing upon my heart that I needed to learn to slow down and, be present and value the moment. And I started to get, these feelings like, when was the last time you slowed down and really sipped and tasted your coffee? I'm not talking about using coffee as like a lifeline to get through the day. I'm talking or chugging it before you head out to work. I'm talking about sipping it and enjoying it and taking your time with it. When's the last time, Mel, that you really were taking the time to really listen to your environment instead of me going out and just running the trails outdoors with my earbuds in and blocking everything out? When was the last time I listened to birds? Slow down and listen to birds chirp. Listen to, little armadillos digging over in the grass. When's the last time that I allowed myself the value on this planet to slow down and really take in the senses? Because there's something so healing about slowing down and using all of your senses. What am I hearing right now? What amazing things am I hearing right now? Oh, well, I'm hearing the air conditioner running. It's a little warm here in Texas today. And yet, I can take a moment in that slowing down and be like, I'm so glad I have air conditioner, and that gratefulness is building me up. And then as I sit here, what do I see? Oh, I see amazing, beautiful trees right now outside this window. And they have bright green leaves on them, and the trees are full of greenery. And that is because we're in spring. And isn't it wonderful that, oh, and I see a butterfly. And isn't it wonderful that in the midst of the hard time, that spring still happens? And it reminds me that life keeps going and beauty keeps coming. And even though a season dies, a season of your life has died. And yet there is new coming. New seasons are rising. And so, taking the time to really slow down and be in the moment gives so much value to you as a human being on this earth. You are worthy of slowing down. You are worthy of breathing deep. You are worthy of singing at the top of your lungs and laughing your butt off to Pitbull, if that's what you want to do. But allowing yourselves to have those moments of joy and taking that time is really building inside of you a self-love and value that others can't take from you. They took maybe a lot from you, and you can't control that. But you can control this week taking moments to give yourself value, to let beauty come back into your life, to take a moment to be present. And even though maybe it feels like the whole world is icky, looking for that moment of peace to just breathe and enjoy sipping your tea this morning, or sitting outside for a few moments this evening, or whatever. Give yourself those moments, because it begins to build you back. And you are so important. You are so important to the world out there. You have something very valuable and beautiful inside of you. Every one of us does, because God created this universe and created you. And you have something valuable and amazing inside of yourself that reflects the Creator. And it's needed on this earth. Other people are going to need the story of what you've walked through, of what you've been through in the future, and how you came onto the other side healthy. They're going to need your story. It's valuable. They're going to need your kids. They're going to need you to be present. They're going to need you to be able to stop and listen and hear them and care about what's happening in their life right now as they're processing pain as well. They're going to need you to be able to laugh with them and to know that their life isn't over too. You know, the people around you, whether you know they're watching or not, you matter to them. The things that you are doing right now, the way that you're walking through this circumstance, it matters in the world and in your sphere, because you are valuable and you're here for a reason. And you might be the one thing that helps somebody else keep going. Your beautiful voice, your encouragement might be the one thing that someone needed today to keep going. And so I encourage you to really value yourself, to take the time to laugh, to take the time to find amazing things that are created, you know, in this universe to delight in yourself, to delight in, I don't know, a new pair of earrings, whatever it is today that brings you great joy. Take those moments to just breathe in and breathe out and be separate from everything that's swarming around you. And I promise, as you do that, as you walk a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, giving value to yourself and value to your right to continue on this earth, no matter who left you behind, no matter what ended, you matter today. And I just want to encourage you in that. And I want to encourage you that there is a hope and a plan and a future for your life. And it did not end the day he walked out or the day that you had to walk away. From this point forward, this is your starting line, a new starting line today. And in taking those moments for yourself and doing that self-compassion and care, it's going to begin to lighten your heart and lighten your load. And you'll begin to be able to see a hope and a future. And when we do so, we're giving value and worth to ourselves. And as we give value and worth to ourselves, we can empty our hands of unworthy and we can begin to receive amazing, beautiful things, receive victory into our lives, and begin to go forward into what God has called and created us to be. Our hearts and eyes will be open as we begin to care for ourselves and take our eyes off the past and off of that person for a moment, off of the future of what I've got to go figure out, and place them right here, just in this present moment, because the present is a gift. So I encourage you guys in that, and God bless you and have an amazing week. And definitely tune in to ArieVive Studios on YouTube, on the Daily Gospel Network, on Legend Plus, and also on all the podcast platforms. So nice to see you guys, and I hope that this encouraged you.